Hey friends, Dave here at Transfer Express, and today we are talking about some easy ways that you could add texture to almost any heat transfer print. Now we're going to cover some common tools that you could use, maybe some materials that you have around the house or shop, and we're even going to experiment to see if it improves the overall look and feel of our transfers. So are you ready? Let's get right to it. If you are new to Transfer Express, we are the world's largest supplier of custom screen printed and digital heat transfers, heat presses, free customizable designs, wholesale apparel, and expert advice to help grow your t-shirt business. If you haven't already, subscribe. We're kicking out new videos like this one every single week. Now we're essentially going to be using cover sheets today on a second press to see if and how we could change the texture, look, or feel of our prints. I do want to say, unless noted on the instruction sheet, you do not need any cover sheets or platen covers for the normal application of any heat transfers from Transfer Express here. Now, cover sheets are great for reducing scorching on heat-sensitive apparel or preventing damage to the garment with the right type of heat transfer. But with preventing damage, it is also preventing heat from getting through to the transfer, and without the right heat, our transfer might not be applying properly. So we are going to be using cover sheets today only on that second press to see if we can make those changes here to our screen printed and digital transfers. First up on our list here today that we're going to try out is Goof Proof. Now, Goof Proof is the most popular transfer here at Transfer Express, and it has been for over 30 years. Of course, for good reason. It's one of the easiest and fastest to apply screen printed transfers on planet Earth. Now, Goof Proof is versatile with its application to polyester or cotton garments and gives you that same look, feel, and durability as a traditional plastisol print. For our Goof Proof here, before we get anything going, I do want to select an image that has a nice, kind of heavy ink coverage so we could see how much that these different cover options are going to affect our overall look and feel. So let's go ahead and just cut this one right on out. And I'm going to cut this up into different sections. We'll use this one right here as our control that we're just going to press and not recover with any of our options. So we're going to take this graphic, I'm going to cut it up into 4 different segments to be able to put it on this shirt along with our control. Now let's head back on over to our heat press. We're going to get our shirt right here. Before we print anything of our test, I do just want to pre-press this, removing any moisture and wrinkles from this fabric here. Perfect. Now I do want to make sure all of our settings are correct here on our autoclave. I'm going to go down to 6 seconds at 365 degrees and check our pressure, a nice medium to firm pressure for a regular Goof Proof application. I'm just going to separate each one of those out and grab our control here as well that I'll put right up here in the top. No cover sheets to apply the first time. Goof Proof transfers all applied. Look how great those went on there. All right. There's our first go at it. Everything looks phenomenal, like a regular Goof Proof print. All right, so first up is gonna be the flexible application pad from Stahls, which is great for protecting those heat sensitive garments. If you have a low temperature transfer like vinyl or something, we really don't recommend using these. Like I mentioned earlier, they block a ton of heat. Then we have just cotton fabric. So this is just regular cotton duck canvas that I got from the fabric store. Then, of course, trusty old craft paper. Also something you've got at your house or your shop. And last but not least, the parchment paper. And now, we're just gonna go ahead and repress this for a couple seconds and see any differences that we're gonna get right here. I'll remove all of these immediately. All right, so up here, our craft paper does look slightly more glossy, I think, than I would say the parchment paper, but these two look very, very standard for just a regular Goof Proof print. Any of the changes we actually made here are very, very minimal. One thing that is really surprising is the canvas texture that got pulled here into the canvas print. It looks actually really, really good and almost like a real traditional screen print onto a shirt. You could definitely feel it. It's less smooth than say here with the parchment paper or the craft paper. And then over here with the flexible application pad, there is a little bit of texture, but it's not as uniform and it doesn't look as defined as over here with the canvas. There's a slight difference in feel in the heavy ink coverage areas where maybe the flexible application pad is just a slight bit smoother. But other than that, minimal changes from what we consistently see with our quality of Goof Proof here. So maybe adding this extra step isn't necessarily needed here for an ink that is as versatile or feels as good as our Goof Proof. On to some full color prints. Next up that we're gonna test, UltraColor Pro digital heat transfers. These are the latest evolution of the UltraColor heat transfer lineup here at Transfer Express, and these are optimized for higher quantity runs of that full color artwork, and these transfers are going to allow for full color or photographic artwork with durable, screen printed adhesive backing to it. So let's get it on the press with those different cover options, and we're gonna see how we could change the appearance of it. Now we're back here with the same graphic in UltraColor Pro printed 4 times. Let's go ahead and put our cover sheet options on here and see if we could affect the way that these look. Now we'll go ahead and press this and see if it makes a difference. We'll peel all these off right away. And let's see what we got. Up top here, the craft paper looks almost identical to how it looks when it was originally printed. The same with the parchment. It doesn't seem to have affected the actual like glossiness or mateness of the print. These two look identical. Now here with the canvas is where it seems to really change. You got an awesome natural kind of almost t-shirt pattern that's in the print, and the hand feel of it too feels a little bit more like the shirt, and it does look a little bit more matte with that texture in the print now that's diffusing some of that light. Now here at the bottom with our flexible application pad, very similar results to what we got with the cotton, but it's a slightly tighter weave, and you could see that in there, although it really did put the actual kind of pattern in the print itself. Maybe just slightly more matte with that tighter weave of the pattern from the flexible application pad from the cotton. But I'm real surprised with the two results here with the flexible application pad and the cotton with the amount of texture it was able to put into this print with those heavy ink coverage areas. Now if we feel on the inside of the shirt, it actually does feel a little bit reduced of a hand feel with the cotton and the flexible application pad rather than these two. And I think it's just because it kind of puts it into the garment, gives it that kind of texture, and it feels like it moves with the garment a little bit more, even despite being the same weight of the print on the fabric. Now the last test we're gonna do here today is with our UltraColor Max. Now UltraColor Max is our direct-to-film heat transfer for limitless color, fine detail, all without any clear outlines and down to just 1 sheet minimum. Now available in almost any size from 1/4 inch up to 22 by 22 inches as a single image or a gang sheet with simple pricing and lightning fast turn times makes UltraColor Max an ultra popular option for heat transfers these days. Let's test them out. Now here for our UltraColor Max, we've got all 4 here covering 1 graphic. We're gonna see how it looks. So here on our test with the UltraColor Max, the 2 here in the middle, the parchment paper and the craft paper, look identical to each other. But like right here, this line here, you could clearly see there's much more defined texture from the canvas, and from this line over, you can see there's much more texture from the flexible application pad. I will say, more matching the t-shirt texture itself is going to be the actual canvas here. That kind of just makes that look like more of a screen print almost. And I guess you could say the same for the flexible application pad with that little bit tighter weave of that texture versus a little bit wider and more organic here like on the cotton repress. But here in the middle, no changes whatsoever. It doesn't look like it's even any glossier or any more matte than the traditional print that you get natively with our UltraColor Max. Before we wrap this up, I did want to show how drastic of a change that a cover sheet can make on your transfers. Here on our glitter transfers, you could see it has a super high gloss finish, mostly because of the clear plastisol binder that holds all the glitter together, but because of the cold peel, you get a little bit of that great high gloss. Now with just a quick repress with our cover sheet, you could see that it almost instantly becomes kind of a pearlescent matte glitter. Now this is a great trick to keep in mind when you want to get your graphics to shine and shimmer in a little bit more subtle way. And as you could see here, we had quite a few different results with our different cover sheet options. Which one do you think surprised you the most? Do you think you're going to use these on a project in the future? Or got a tip of your own? Just let us know down in the comments section below. Now here at Transfer Express, we are dedicated to helping you and your t-shirt business succeed with tons of helpful, inspirational, and educational content that we're dropping here every single week. Be sure you subscribe to stay up to date and in the know, but until next time, I'm Dave. Happy pressing.